Welcome to Tikkun's Weekly Dava. I'm Rabbi Shaul Rosenblatt. This week the Torah portion is Chukat, and it's in the middle of the book of Bamidbar, book of Numbers. There's a tiny little section in this week's portion, which is the Moses is striking the rock. Famous story. Moses gets angry with the Jewish people, strikes the rock, and is kind of punished, so to speak, by not being allowed into the land of Israel. It's an amazing thing that story is a well-known story. People know about it. It's only seven sentences. 7 sentences in the whole Torah. Unlike Dickens, God clearly was not paid by the word. Try it yourself. Try and write a story that is 7 sentences long, and yet is remembered by much of humanity 3,500 years after it was written. It's impressive stuff. Anyway, he makes a mistake, Moses. What's the nature of his mistake? Did he get a little bit impatient? Did he not smile one morning at his wife? Was he late for a meeting? It's amazing what the Torah tells us. We don't need to conjecture. Moses, the lawgiver, the man who split the Red Sea, the man who brought manna from heaven, who brought the 10 plagues on Egypt, did not believe in God. I'm not making that myself, that's what it says in the Bible. Now, whatever that might mean, and it needs some serious discussion as to what that does mean. Clearly, it's not a little mistake. Clearly, it's something pretty big over there. And I don't want to get into that for another discussion. I want to just take a little bit of a different focus, and that is that the rabbis tell us in Proverbs, that King Solomon actually tells us in Proverbs, Tzadik yipol sheva v'kama, a righteous man falls 7 times and he gets up again. And an evil man falls only once. Righteous men make mistakes. A righteous man in Judaism is not a perfect human being. Nobody is a perfect human being. Only God is perfect. And even the man of Moses' greatness is going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. And the question of whether a person is a good person, a righteous person or not, is not a question of whether he makes mistakes or not. It's a question of how he deals with the mistakes once he makes them. A person steals, doesn't make him a thief. He's a good person who's stolen. He steals a number of times, still not a thief. He's a good person who steals. It's only when he identifies with the stealing and sees himself as a thief and looks at himself in that way that he actually becomes a thief. A good man can steal. A good man can steal again. A good man can keep stealing. He might have a desire to steal and he can't stop himself, or he's struggling to stop himself. He only becomes a thief when he identifies himself in that way. When he believes he can't rise anymore, when he believes he can't overcome it, when he believes that that's who he is and there's nothing he can do about it. When a person sees it that way, he's a thief, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. He's a thief because he sees himself as a thief, and that's the only reason that he is. Moses was the greatest of human beings in Jewish thinking. He made a mistake. He made a major mistake, a significant mistake, and yet he is still considered to be that greatest of human beings. Moshe Rabbeinu, our teacher, our guide, the Jewish people's guide, Panim el Panim, he spoke to God face to face. We can make mistakes, and we can still live lives and be good people and be great human beings. God does not demand of us or even request perfection. Life is a challenge. There are stumbling blocks along the way, and when there are stumbling blocks, we're probably going to trip over them here and there. But we need to see the mistakes that we make as setbacks in our life, not defining moments. If mistakes are defining moments, then they become the definition of who we are. If they're setbacks, then they're things we can move beyond and change and get up from. As I said, a righteous man falls 7 times, but every time he gets up. So go ahead, go out there, make mistakes, do the wrong thing. You're human. We all are. It's going to happen. Just don't identify with it. Don't identify with those mistakes when you make them. A good person will always be able to rise again. A bad person doesn't believe in the possibility of rising, doesn't believe in the possibility of change. And what happens is, When a person doesn't believe in the possibility of change, doesn't believe in the possibility that he can do something about where he is, then he's a thief. And if he's a thief, he might as well steal. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom. And if you're interested in finding more about Tikkun, what we do and what we teach, please log on to our website, tikkun.co.uk. Thank you.